Hello, I'm Karen, the Weekend Craftaholic. Thanks for joining me for another process layout video. So today I'm going to use this little sticker sheet that I got recently from Echo Park. It's a dog's tail. Now I did already have the corresponding 6x6 paper pad, which I absolutely love, and that's what encouraged me to go ahead and order this one as well. So I will leave some links below in the description box if you're interested in this particular collection as well. Now I did print off a couple of pictures of my little pooch, so this is just a 6x4, so I will end up with two 2x3 photographs that I'm going to put in an 8x8 layout. Now I'm going to use these rectangle dies from Lawn Fawn just to actually give me a nice stitched outline for the border that I'm going to use for each of these photos. So I'll go off camera and do that. But first I just need to choose a pattern from my paper pad here. Now I do prefer the 6x6 pads over the 12x12 just because any of the pattern sheets tend to have a smaller patterned image, and that's perfect if I'm going to use it just to mount any photographs and have just a little bit of that pattern showing on the outline of the photograph. So I'm going to use this pattern here just so you see a few of those diagonal lines, and as I said, just off camera on my big shot what I've done is gone away and cut these out. So I will say as well at this stage that I make loads of mistakes on this layout. I do end up going backwards and forwards, and even after I turn the camera off at the end I realise I miss a part of it, so I will show you the finished picture at the end as well. But what I'm doing now, I'm just going to cut those photos down a bit smaller. So even though I did print them 6x3, again my first mistake, because I wanted the stitch border to show on that die cut, the image of the photo matches it exactly, so I just needed to cut them down slightly so you could still see that stitched outline. And I'm just gluing them down now. Now generally when I do mount photographs I generally just put the glue or the adhesive right in the center, and that's so that if I do decide I'm going to just slip some little embellishments or die cuts underneath in between the photograph and the mount, that I can still fit things underneath without getting in the way with the adhesive. Now I noticed on this sticker sheet that there's kind of a little bunting effect with these different pieces, and I decided that would be perfect for my 8x8 sheet of paper. I've placed my piece of paper underneath so it looks like the length is just the right size, but I obviously didn't get the gradient right of the bunting because I do make a complete mess of it and I really don't like the line of that. I did try to take it off, but I just couldn't. It was stuck down too hard. These stickers really are very sticky. So instead of moving that, and as you can see here is where I try and remove it and give up straight away, I decided there's something else that I need to do, and I'm going to have to just try and cover it up and hide it. So I'm just placing some of these larger stickers here now just to see how that would look if I did just overlap it with that original bunting. But what I do realise towards the end of it is that my plan was to actually put a line of stitching along that bunting line, which I forgot to do, but I do it off camera later, so you'll see the finished result then. So now I'm just placing down and adhering the actual photographs to the sticker sheet because I'm happy with the placement of that now. And I'm going through and just randomly now selecting a lot of the smaller pieces. Actually I wanted some continuity, so there's lots of little bone stickers that I'm just sticking down. There's also some little love out stickers as well that I want to use. But as I start to place these little sentiment stickers, I realise the little bone stickers in the wrong place. So very carefully need to remove that so I can put this one in its place. And I like the placement of that. The circle looks really good against all the rectangle shapes. So now I'm trying to find somewhere else to put the little bone. Not really sure where it's going to go, so I just stick it on the end. Can't really see it very well because of the background paper is very colourful and bright. And now this is where I'm placing my little love the heart stickers as well. I think it's a really cute collection. I love the colours, they're not too girly, so it works for my dog who's a little boy as well, and it really makes his little photos pop. I do wish I'd have done it on a bigger spread and done one for my 12x12 album because there's so many stickers on here that I could use, and I did also want to try and bring in some little stamps as well. I've got a little doggy stamp set that I wanted to use. But just going back to the paper pad now, because I knew there were also some sentiments in the paper pad, and this one I particularly I do love, and it just says there are no bad days when you come home to a dog, and I wanted to put that in, but again I then meant that I needed to remove the little love heart that I'd put in its place, and then I felt it was a little bit crowded at the bottom, and it was just a little bit sparse at the top, and it just seemed a little bit out of whack. So I decided to grab my distress inks, and I just started to have a play with this because I'm trying to find something that matches that reddish colour. You can see I try a couple of different distress inks here, but I think I hit gold on the first one. So the one that I decided to go with is called Aged Mahogany. Now I know I don't want to add any more embellishments or stickers. It's already a very busy layout. I don't normally do them so busy like this. And I really wish I'd have thought about this sooner and maybe planned out the layout would have been a good idea. I would of course have applied this distress ink beforehand, before putting all the sticker sheets down, but you live and learn, I guess, and that'll teach me for not planning a layout and just winging it. But usually when I do a process layout, I do normally just have a photograph in mind, the collection that I want to use, whether it's stickers or paper, and then I just use whatever's in my stash and just build it from there on the fly. So now that I've started to apply this, I'm just working it down a little, just trying to get some little darker patches to try and give it a bit of texture as well, just so it's not as flat behind that. Because I have actually accidentally gone over some of the stickers, what I've done is decided to just go over them all intentionally, so they've all got that similar kind of tinted effect and brings out a little bit more of that red colour. And then I think I'm about done. I am tempted to add some sequins, but I hold off. I've already put way too much on this than I'd originally planned. And then, as I say, all that's left for me to do off camera is to go away and just put a stitch from my sewing machine along that line of bunting, as you can see here, just to give it that effect.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you've got any comments about this video, please leave them below. I'd love to see them. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. That way YouTube knows to recommend similar ones for you. And finally, if you'd like to see more from me, and I hope so, please subscribe by clicking the link below. I post new content every weekend.